Hey guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley and I am back for an all new video. Now I am back for yet another sip and chat. It's been quite a while since I did one of these videos, but I know you guys actually told me that you kind of like these, kind of carefree, just me chatting about, other things outside of music news and stuff. So if you're interested in sipping and chatting with me, then of course, you got to stay tuned for more to see what I'm talking about, what I'm sipping on, and all that other good stuff. So yeah. Okay guys, so we just gonna get into this little sip and chat. I got my little cup here, you see the J for Jade, and what am I sipping on right now? I'm sipping on Fanta orange, and I got some Hennessy in here. Don't judge me, but I'm the type of person that mixes liquors. So while I was getting ready, I had what is it, the McBride sisters Black Girl Magic. It's kind of like a sparkling wine. I had that, and I mixed that with some Casamigos because I got a little bit of Casamigos. I'm the type of person, I actually use wine as a chaser for my liquor, so don't judge me, but that's just how I get down, okay? But yeah, so right now at this moment in time where we're doing this video, I'm sipping on some Fanta orange with some Hennessy. And we're just gonna get into a couple of things. And the first thing, I have my phone right here, but I think I remember my list of things that I wanted to talk about during the sip and chat. But first and foremost, let me just sip. I got hair on my cup. Or am I tripping? Y'all, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, might I add. But yeah, so let's just get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about, and I'm sure you guys probably know because it's the most talked about thing throughout this past week, is the whole Saweetie and Quavo situation. So as you guys know, last month, because now we are in April, so last month, which was really only about probably a good 3 weeks ago roughly, Saweetie just pretty much announced that she was single. Her and Quavo had split up. People kind of suspected something was going on when they weren't following each other. Now, me personally, as someone who works in social media, and I see this a lot, couples unfollowing each other or not following each other, I don't really look at that as danger zone, just because some people don't want to follow. Some people says, oh, just because we're not following each other don't necessarily mean we ain't good. It's I've seen so many cases. So honestly, first and foremost, when it kind of came to everyone's attention that they weren't following each other, I didn't really think too much into it. And I also didn't think too much into it because they still had photos of each other on their Instagrams. Now, when the photos is going, that's when it was really real. And the thing about it is that right now they're broken up. But if you go to their pages, because I've seen it this past week myself, they still have photos of each other on their page. They both still have the Valentine's Day posts and everything. Saweetie still has a photo with the Bentley. Just videos, stuff from their GQ spread. They still have each other on their their profile, but they're not together. But I don't know, maybe they just memories, I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, so as far as Saweetie and Quavo, they've been over, and their past issues in their relationship kind of resurfaced this past week when TMZ dropped the an elevator surveillance footage situation where they kind of got into this little everyone has their take on what it looks like to them. Altercation, people are calling it domestic violence, people are saying it's not a big deal. Everyone just has their thoughts on the whole situation. And truth be told, I literally seen that video. I was working by the app when it happened, but I literally seen that video when it dropped, and the first thing that popped into my head, now I'm not in PR, but I was this is a whole PR nightmare, and this is something that could have been avoided. When I read the details of the situation, this was an incident that happened last year, 2020. Here we are in 2021, and I'm just bro, this, I felt the whole release of the elevator footage situation with Saweetie and Quavo, this could have been prevented. This really could have been prevented, and I'm just kind of who on what team dropped the ball? Because what happened is, if you watch the video, they was, you know, fighting over, what is it? They said a Call of Duty case or whatever. Like I said, we don't know what's what. Obviously, whatever happened at that moment in time, you know, they moved past it. They were cool, because the fact of the matter is they broke up this year. So, I mean, we don't know what was what. So that's whatever happened, that was between them, or whatever the case may be. But as far as image, like, I work in like social media and stuff like that. So like my mind kind of is like runs different, I guess, than the average person. I'm the type of person, and I'm just like, where's this person's PR person? Like, is this person like media trained? Like, that's how my mind works. So when I first seen this elevator footage, I was just kind of like, yo, this is like a PR nightmare. Like I said, again, I'm not in PR, but I do come in contact with a lot of publicists. But and I was saying, this is a situation that could have been avoided. So if you watch the video, after they're like doing whatever little scuffling, and Saweetie falls to the floor, and then Quavo standing on the thing, Quavo looks at the camera. Quavo, he looks in the corner and he looks at the camera. So they were very much aware that whatever, especially Quavo, because he looked at the camera. Quavo looked at the camera, y'all. He was very much aware that this whole situation and whatever happened between them was recorded. So you mean to tell me last year when this situation happened, these two very public figures did not think to go to the security office and have their people go like, hey, you know, a situation happened on this elevator. We need the tape. I don't know if they had to pay whatever they had to pay, whatever. They could have had this footage and made sure that this footage never seen the light of day. Now, granted, if this was to come out like right after it happened, okay. But they had a lot of time to make sure this shit didn't get out. And they didn't do that. This could have been prevented. I promise you, this could have been prevented, but it didn't. So that's the first thing I like in my mind. I was like, this didn't have to get out, and it didn't have to be the way that it was. And then I think another thing with the whole situation is people, there was a lot of debating going on behind it. There were like a lot of people like, oh, well, Saweetie hit him first, and this and that. And then it was like, oh, well, if you think that that's okay, regardless of what she did first. Like, honestly, like I said, we don't know these people. We don't know what the conversation was. We don't know what the context and orientation behind this whole particular incident was. But what I will say is, yo, this video shouldn't have just got out. That's like, I can't even, truth be told, because honestly, it all just looked bad. It just looked bad. Honestly, it looked bad. And I just kind of feel like it more so looked bad on Quavo's situation, regardless of what Saweetie did first or who, what. Like, and truth be told, we don't even know what happened. We don't know what happened in full. We just seen what was on that camera. We don't know what happened before they got in the camera frame. Let's start there. So obviously they was into it about something. So whatever happened was going on before they got into that camera frame of the elevator. So we don't know who did what first. We don't know. But it's just that what we saw was, it was a Call of Duty case. You know, they was trying to snatch, whatever the case may be. You know, she flings into the elevator. She's on the floor. You know, the elevator's going, I don't know, either up or down. We don't know what floor, whatever the case may be, but they're on the elevator. And, you know, at the end of the video, you know, when, you know, she finally gets up and gets off, she's kind of limping. And yeah, I don't know. It was an unfortunate situation. And I think it's kind of sad just because they were like a really cute couple. I actually like watching Saweetie's series here on YouTube that she has, like the whole, what is it, Icy Life or something. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, she just kind of seems like a really dope person. So, you know, you kind of, through that series, you just kind of get a look into, you know, that relationship a little bit whenever he was around, you know, whenever she was recording stuff, you know. So, but I mean, that's what they showed us. So we, you know, I think when she said in her statement, when she finally did kind of speak out about the situation, it was just like, she said, we had, what she said, something where they had a lot of hurdles to get over within their relationship, or whatever the case may be, some shit like that. She said something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I think my number one thought, no matter what, you know, people have to say about this whole situation with Saweetie and Quavo, is this could have been prevented. That's what I think. This shit could have been prevented. Like, and when I say this shit could have been prevented, I mean the video dropping and us finding out about what happened last year could have been prevented. Like, that was their business. Like, whatever happened in that moment, that was between them. But, you know, I just kind of feel like their teams just kind of dropped the ball with obtaining that footage and making sure it never got out. So maybe they need to fire some people on their teams, because there's no reason why TMZ should have got that shit and dropped it. That's just my thoughts on that whole situation. Okay, so the second thing that I wanted to talk about for this week is Bridgerton. So first of all, let me take a drink to that. So we got some shocking news this week about Bridgerton. First and foremost, before I even get into Bridgerton, I want to shout out to my nail tech, Sarah, because she was the one that put me on. She did my nails this week, and, you know, I got a nice little colorful concoction. I haven't shared it on my Instagram yet. I'm waiting for her. I usually, you know, share my nails when she posts a photo, so you kind of get a good look at it and stuff or whatever. But anyway, shout outs to Sarah, because she's the one that put me onto Bridgerton. One time when I was at her house and she was doing my nails, she had it playing and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I kept hearing about this show, but I didn't like get into it. Like, I'm not the type of person to kind of like follow trend or whatever. But yeah, from the little bit that I saw at her house, I was like, oh, let me go, you know, watch it. So I came home, watched it or whatever, and it was a really good show. I really like Bridgerton. But unfortunately, this week we learned that Regé-Jean, I think I'm saying his name right, Regé-Jean Page, who plays the Duke, Simon, Your Grace, you know, those are all the names that he's called on the show. He will not be returning for a second season. And I think the news about the second season coming out actually came out like prior to me watching the show or whatever. But yeah, even with season 2, that was already confirmed. They let us know that he will not be returning to the show. And my first thoughts was, what's the purpose of watching the second season? And the reason I kind of feel like that is just because, you know, the whole storyline with him and Daphne, and, you know, she's trying to get a man and he's trying to be left the hell alone, but everyone wants their daughter to date him because he's like the most eligible bachelor. He's like all fine and whatnot. And, you know, y'all know the story. They kind of like sit there and they come up with this plan to make it seem like they really want each other, so everybody could leave them alone and think they just like this really big couple. And then, you know, they fall in love and all of this other shit. Like, it's like a really good story. And then, like, you know, they ended up getting married, and then, you know, but he didn't want to have a kid because, you know, the way his father treated him when he was a kid, he vowed to never, you know, have an heir to kind of pass on a name, and he was like that the name is going to die with me, and, you know, all this other stuff. So the way the show ended was they finally had a kid. So now you mean to tell me, after the way season 1 ended, I'm not going to see Regé-Jean Page, aka Simon, aka the Duke, aka Your Grace, in season 2? And they're like, oh, well, you know, his character is still going to be referenced, but it's going to focus on Daphne as a wife and a mother, and then, you know, one of her brothers is supposed to be trying to find him a wife or whatever the case may be. We don't care about the brother. I'm sorry. I feel like out of all of Daphne's siblings, the only one we care about is the sister that's, I guess, up next in line to kind of get the sister that I was sitting here trying to figure out who was Lady Whistledown. That's the only sibling out of all the Daphne siblings we give a damn about, truth be told. But we don't want to, we don't care about, you know, Daphne's brother finding like him a wife. We don't care. It's like, bro, like, they sat here, they fell in love, they got married, you know, finally had a baby, all of this, like, and you mean to tell me that we're not going to see him? Like, no, y'all gotta rewrite this. Like, And then I think I was seeing somewhere it was like, oh, well, he only signed on for like 1 season anyway. He literally just won an NAACP Image Award for his role, and y'all want to sit here and talk about he not coming back. Like, I promise y'all, ratings for season 2 of Bridgerton gonna drop after this. The ratings is gonna drop just because, like, he's the breakout star. Like, when I seen him on SNL, and I don't even watch SNL like that, but when he was hosting SNL, like, him just opening his mouth, any little thing that he said, and ladies was going crazy in the crowd. Like, that's your sex symbol right there. How you get rid of your sex symbol on the show? Like, Like, I mean, granted, he does other things, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just like the passion in his character. Like, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just, oh, Regé-Jean Page. I wish he wasn't leaving. I really wish he wasn't leaving. Like, I don't know. Like, for all I care, at this point, they could take as long as they want with season 2. You know, like when you really love a show and you kind of just fiend and you just kind of want them to hurry up so the new season could come out. If he's not going to be there, I don't give a damn how long they take. They could take years at this point for season 2 because I'm not going to care to watch it. And that's just pretty much how I feel on that whole situation right there. So, yeah. But the third thing, since we're on the topic of shows, one show, and it's the only show I'm watching right now because all of my shows other than this one show is on break. So, like, literally, I ain't had nothing to watch this week other than Snowfall. Love me some Snowfall. Love me some Damson Idris with his fine ass. And I thought he was fine. I've been following him and everything actually before I watched the show. Because I didn't start watching Snowfall until, like, the pandemic hit. I think that after, what was it? After season 3 ended, it was like on Hulu. I watch everything on Hulu, y'all. So it was on Hulu, and I remember watching it at, like, or I started watching like season 1, and then like I just stopped. Like, I don't know, like I think it just didn't hook me right then and there. But like during the pandemic, you know, we was inside, it was nothing to do but watch like a whole bunch of stuff. So I was like, oh, let me kind of like revisit the show and, you know, see if I can like kind of get into it. So I actually kind of picked up off where I had left off when I, you know, or whatever. And like Snowfall just became my shit. So like once I finished season 3, I'm kind of looking into see what's going on with season 4. And I had seen like right before the pandemic started, you know, they was starting on season 4, and that had to stop, you know, obviously because, you know, the world was coming to an end. So but yeah, so here we are in season 4, and like shit is just crazy. I don't know what's going on Snowfall. Like, I love me some Saint, but Saint ain't doing it for me this season. Like, he really is not doing it for me this season. Like, I'm trying to trust his judgment just because I know before anything he's always been book smart. So I'm just kind of trying to trust it, but it's just not working. From like really from the jump, it's not working this season for him. And I don't want it to be that way because I don't want to see the whole organization fall apart, but it's not working for him. They stressing me this season on Snowfall. They really stressing me. They really stressing me this season. What is it? Oh, Jesus, what's going on? So the season start, you know, Man Boy and Scully, they beefing, and I guess he had this bright idea where he thought he was going to give both sides his support and pretty much just pit them against each other, and whoever was the last one standing, you know, that's what it was as far as like handling his business. That shit backfired. Both of them ended up living, and you know, what was it? I think Scully, he was the one that's like pretty much after Franklin because he thought Scully died. Scully didn't die. Scully is, for those who don't watch it, Scully is Stacy from The Wood. You know, he's still out here acting, so shout outs to him. But yeah, that was just one thing. You know, Leon, he was giving Franklin the cold shoulder from jump, you know, because Leon, he out here running the whole organization through the projects and all this other stuff. But you know, the vibe been off between them since literally this season started, and I wasn't feeling that. But you know, Scully, he trying to retaliate against Franklin, and off the strength of him trying to retaliate against Franklin, he tried to assassinate Leon. So, you know, now Leon, he got a private investigator you know, watching Scully's every move because he's sitting here trying to get back at him. So, you know, what was it? They was camping outside the grandmama house or whatever, and then waiting for him to come out because they trying to retaliate because Scully tried to get Leon. And then, you know, when Scully tried to get Leon, he ended up shooting Wanda. You know, even though Wanda turned out to be a crackhead, you know, Leon still cared about her. He still cared about her deep down inside, but, you know, he can't let it show like that. But anyway, so yeah, that lead to the whole shootout because while he was outside of Scully grandmama house, you know, Scully people, they pull up in the whip next to his, and you know, they just all start shooting. They just start blasting. They like, brr, brr, you know, that's what they was doing. So, you know, pretty much Leon was getting his revenge because, mind you, they tried to kill him off the strength of, you know, off the strength of Franklin, off of Saint. So, in all of this whole situation, they end up killing Scully, you know, daughter. Franklin was right though. They shouldn't have had that girl in the car. So, but yeah, it's just like shit. It's just like crazy. And this past week, on the show, they tried to have Fatback take the fall for the whole situation. Scully baby mama, what's her name? Khadijah. She actually bailed him out of jail and pretty much tortured him to kind of give up where Leon was at. And he didn't know technically where Leon was at. And they ended up killing Fatback. So, you know, that was last week's episode. Coming into this week's episode, because Fatback, you know, ended up getting killed and all this other stuff, Franklin's on this whole, you know, oh, you know, the coast is clear and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, my nigga, just because y'all have Fatback take the blame for the whole killing of the little girl when it came to authorities and stuff like that, Khadijah was right there. She know who the fuck did what. So she's still looking for Leon, and he thinking everything is cool, calm, collective. And because, you know, Leon don't gotta hide from the cops no more because technically Fatback, you know, took the blame for the whole situation. So he kind of got the police off his back with that whole situation. And because Fatback got killed, you know, over the situation, you know, he's thinking he's just good. So like now he's freely showing his face back in the projects and all this other stuff. Now he kind of deal with Fatback's cousin because he like the OG in the hood or whatever. And he's just kind of like trying to do right and pay his respects and stuff because he really was messed up about the whole Fatback, you know, getting killed behind the whole situation or whatever. It's just a lot. And I feel like nobody's moving smart. Like, no one's moving smart this season. Like, no one at all. No one's moving smart. Like, and it's really bothering me. But you know who's really bothering me this season on Snowfall? That reporter. What's her name? I can't think of her name right now. But the reporter, she needs to get that Andre treatment. She really do. You know, you ever heard of mind the business that pay you? Well, technically, she's supposed to be getting paid, but she needs to mind her business because, you know, when you sit here and you go so hard and you digging, and you're not minding your business and you doing the most, that's how you lose your life. And she gonna get a rude awakening, and she really pissing me off. She's really pissing me off, and I want her to go. I want her to go. What is it? The girl that Franklin laying up with this season. I don't trust her. I don't remember her name, but I don't trust her. No. Like, he getting a little bit too comfortable, and like, bro, you supposed to just hit it and run. That's it. Do what you gotta do, then leave. Don't be laying up. Don't be sitting there talking, pillow talking, all of that other stuff. Like, cut it. The line of work he in, antennas need to be up. Antennas need to be up. Franklin, your antennas need to be up, and it's not. Like, I don't know. It's stressing me out, but it's a really good season. I see a lot of comparisons about people talking about Snowfall and what is it? Power. I think I would choose Snowfall over Power. Power is good now, but I definitely would choose Snowfall over Power. But if you watch Snowfall, comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you thinking the season is going so far. Other than that, the very last thing that I want to talk about is Carisha and them. Carisha and them, like, I like them. City girls. So, they had a little situation. I think, you know what? I don't even want to say they had a situation this week, because whatever happened with them this past week wasn't really a big deal to them. I think it was more so a big deal to everyone else. So you guys know that first of all, if you don't know me, or if you do know me, then you know I love me some Lil Uzi Vert. And I love Uzi just because I just kind of feel like his whole vibe, his whole aura, like he just kind of exudes just like, you know, just real like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just kind of feel like he's a vibe. Like, I always wanted to just meet him, hang out with him. Came close to meeting him, but he had this event here in New York, and I was in touch with his label, and I was supposed to go, but he ended up missing his flight. So his label called and was like, oh, you can still come to the event if you want to, but, you know, he missed his flight, so, you know, he's not going to be here. And then the night that I graduated from the Ween Academy, I actually went home early just because Kamara, she had came, and I didn't want to like leave her by herself. So, you know, me and Kamara, we went to dinner and stuff or whatever. And then like my Ween sisters, they went to do something else. Only for me to wake up the next morning to find out they had went out. And when they went out, they ran into Lil Uzi Vert. And I'm like I have not met Lil Uzi. And that's one person I really do want to meet, because I just kind of feel like just his vibe, his energy, just like, I just kind of feel like he the bomb. Like, honestly, like, that's pretty much like what it is. I just kind of feel like he's just like a whole vibe. So I've been wanting to meet him for a while. But him and JT, they're dating or whatever. So I guess like him and, or I think what is it, JT and Carisha, aka Young Miami, I like calling her by her name, they were on live or whatever, and I guess it was just like this whole conversation that probably got blown out of proportion, where and this is the first time I've ever seen Uzi in this type of light, but him and, you know, Carisha, they kind of got into like this little discussion on live in front of everybody. And yeah, like he just kind of, I think what people were saying is they kind of felt like Uzi was a little bit controlling. Now, y'all know they like to make fun of Uzi. A lot of people like to call him a little bit of gay or whatever the case may be. So I think they just kind of got to see the masculine side of Uzi within that whole situation. And some people obviously didn't like how he was talking to Carisha. They just kind of felt like you know, he was doing too much. The way he was kind of talking, it was like a little bit controlling in their eyes. And it just kind of felt like, JT, girl, you need to run. Granted, y'all, JT, she survived jail. Like, so please don't ever think she gonna let a nigga run over her, talk to her any type of way to where it's kind of like in a disrespectful type of manner. She kind of just kind of feel like a nigga's overpowering her. Like, I don't know her, but what I will say is we all know she done been through jail. She done survived jail. So I promise you, which I think, or which I thought what it was, it ain't that. And the thing about it is, this is like rappers, they're rich. Like I think she was saying something about how like a lot of people kind of felt like, oh, the only reason why she's with him is because he buy her shit. I'm like, bro, him buying her shit ain't got nothing to do. Like, she make her own money. Like, she's just like he's an artist, she's an artist. Just like she make music, he make music. And, you know, she got her own. So like him buying her stuff, whatever he buys her, I'm pretty sure she can buy that shit herself. I mean, it's just nice for you to have a nigga to buy it for you. But like, I don't know. It wasn't that bad of I don't know. I didn't think it was really that big of a deal, that the way that people was making it seem. And then I think things kind of got like a little bit more heated just because I guess Southside, who is Carisha baby daddy, of her, he's the father of her youngest child, Summer. He, I guess, kind of seen what was going on and what people were saying throughout social media and stuff like that, and probably was seeing just that clip of, you know, the exchange between Carisha and Lil Uzi. So he started going off. He was in the studio and he started going off, and he was talking about how he saved him from getting robbed by Offset. That was one thing that a lot of people was kind of focusing on and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like, you know, when they be like, oh, you know, when the weather starts to break and start getting nice outside and stuff like that, niggas don't know how to act. That's what it was. I just kind of feel like, you know, we came out the winter time, you know, we still out here surviving this pandemic, you know, people getting vaccinated and shit. That's another story. But, you know, like, you know, we out here, we living, we out here prospering, you know, we in the springtime, the weather getting nice, you know, people ready to go on vacate. Like, it's just a lot going on. So, you know, niggas don't know how to act. That's really pretty much what it was. But, yeah, I didn't really think too much, like, into it. Like, I didn't really think it was a big deal. I don't know. Like, really, I just really, me personally, me as a person, me as Jade, I just really don't be tripping over a lot of the shit that be going on. I really don't think it's really that big of a deal the way some other people kind of like make things and stuff like that or whatever. So, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't think there's nothing else I wanted to talk about. Happy Easter, because while I'm recording this, today is Sunday, April 4th. Today is Easter Sunday. Wow, Easter came around pretty fast again. I know Easter last year was on a different date. I think like we have like one more week until like the date that Easter was last year, but it, you know, but yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to talk about. If you enjoyed this video, definitely comment below. This is anything that I talked about that you wanted to comment on, definitely comment below. Let me know your thoughts or whatever. Let me know if you still want to see some sip and chat videos. And yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to, you know, share and all that other good stuff. And I think other than that, I'm going to check y'all later. So, bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.